Horses are so much more friendly than goats. Goats are better than horses. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I can see you admiring the beautiful pottery studio here. Have you signed up for a class? Oh, of course, that's why you're here. Well, there's a few things you should know first. You see, here at Place des Arts, it's important that students become acquainted with the rules and the etiquette of the pottery studio. The first thing to know is that we want everybody to feel welcome. We have a great community here at Place des Arts, and whether you've been coming for many years or if you're a brand new student, it's important that we align with the mission of Place des Arts, which is to inspire the artist in everyone. We have one of the best equipped pottery studios in the Lower Mainland, including 11 wheels, 3 electric kilns, a gas kiln, and in fact we process about 17,000 pounds of clay each year. And if you're interested, we've got a couple facts for you. Place des Arts started over 40 years ago in 1972. We started running visual arts classes and dance and drama classes, and in 1996 an expansion. As you can see, we're in the pottery wheel room, and it's not just any room, it has wheels that spin. Are you serious? Who wrote this? Move on? What do you mean move on? I want to know who wrote this.
Okay.
Hey!
Sorry.
Okay.
What is the first line? Now there's some ground rules in the pottery studio. The first is that it's a scent-free zone. That means no perfumes and no body sprays. The second rule is the food rule. There's no food allowed in the pottery studio. Now it's going to get pretty dirty in here, so at the end of each class we usually recommend about a 20-minute cleanup. I also recommend the 2-minute rule, which is that for 2 minutes you tidy up the general space and put everything away that's out of order. Now I know what you're thinking. Vin, I'm just a small town girl. I came in on a midnight train. I don't know how to clean up a pottery studio. Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to do a demonstration for you. The PDA clay can be purchased from front desk. Okay. So before you start creating your creative creations, you're going to need materials. At PDA, clay can be purchased from the front desk. Dollars, rubles, pounds, shekels, we accept it all. No? Oh, sorry, just Canadian dollars. Sorry about that. Repeat, folks, do not bring your foreign currencies to PDA for clay purchase. It's Canadian dollars only. Now that I've bought clay, I can start throwing. Okay, just gonna push out the lip here a little bit, tuck in the belly, and done. But oh wait, the wheel is so dirty. It's time to clean. So to clean the wheel, get it good and wet. You can also give the wheel a bit of a spin to make things go quicker. Clean off the splash pan with your throwing water. For these particular splash pans, they slide forward and then come back off there like that. For the rest of the cleanup, what we're going to do is put all of our scrap clay in here. So I'm removing all the pure chunks of clay. If there's any debris or doubt, don't put it in there, just have it go straight into the garbage. After that, I take my rinse bucket and just get all of that stuff out of the splash pan and into the rinse bucket. Once that's done, you can take it to the sink for its final rinse. Your throwing bucket also has good chunks of clay in there. And this gives you a chance to find all your lost tools as well. Once you've got all the good clay out of the bucket, your rinse water goes in the bucket. You can also rinse your bucket out here. And then rinse your bucket in the sink. After you've rinsed your bucket, you can put it away neatly, like so. You can take all your tools to be rinsed up at the sink. Discard all newspaper. And give your wheel a good wipe down. Making sure to clear off all the clay just in case somebody would like to use a different color clay when they come back to the wheel. You can then replace the splash pans. The deep cut goes on the front and the shallow cut goes on the back, and they slide forward. When you're finished, make sure everything's cleaned up and the wheels are turned off. If you decide to use a bat while you're throwing, it's really important that they get put back in a neat and tidy way. To clean these bats, don't ever soak them. Just give them a good wipe with a sponge until they're clean on both sides. And don't forget also to clean the sides of the bat where clay can tend to cake up. Here in the pottery studio, we have a range of equipment that'll accommodate your pottery needs. We have banding wheels, boards, and a canvas-covered table. To protect our canvas-covered table, we ask that you do not use pin tools or blades or anything sharp to cut against. For that, we have some boards. To clean the tables, grab a fresh bucket of water, soak down the table, and sponge it all up. Make sure to get all the clay that's worked in. When you finish your clay project, we're often left with quite a bit of scrap material. You can choose to recycle it yourself, or we can do it for you. At Place des Arts we have a clay extruder. We use this mostly to put handles on mugs, rims on plates, or any kind of sculptural detail you can imagine. To get started, have some clay prepared that will fit inside the barrel of the extruder. Grab yourself a clay bag and roll up that clay, leaving one end exposed. When that's ready, just drop that into the extruder, take the plunger, find a peg, and then start extruding. Once your extrusion has been prepared, you're ready to put that on your pottery. After you're finished, it's time to start cleaning up. To clean the extruder, remove the die and sponge it off. Then replace it on the peg wall. After that, you can sponge down all the clay off of the extruder itself. Place the plunger for the extruder just to the left of it on the floor. We also have a slab roller in the studio. This is a great piece of equipment for making flatware such as plates, or for any kind of sculptural slab building that you'd like to do. To get started, simply take a piece of clay and make sure it's flat enough to go through the rollers. The rollers will even it all out. Then take two pieces of canvas, place the clay on one, and cover it up with another one so that the clay doesn't touch the rollers. You can adjust the thickness of your slab by controlling the two dials on the side of the slab roller here. Once you've got that set, just push the clay and the canvas sandwich up against the rollers and roll it through. When you're finished making your slab, simply fold up the canvas and neatly store it underneath the slab roller. For the duration of your class, you'll be given space to store your works in progress. At this stage, clay is very soft and vulnerable to damage, so it's important that you have your space well marked, Give your pieces adequate space around them. And one tip would be to cover your work in plastic that's marked as well.
Tomorrow.
Oh, good morning. After your piece is dried, it's time to take it to the kiln room. Welcome to the kiln room. This is the room where we blast your pieces with 1,240 degrees of pure white heat. That's only 14.99 million degrees cooler than the sun. So we're talking hot. Basically, you got to put your pieces on the appropriate shelf to make sure everything goes according to plan. So the first firing is called the greenware firing. That's where you take your dry pieces and place them on the shelf. That way we'll know which kiln to put them in. Once your pieces have been fired for their first bisque firing, you'll find them here, put back on this shelf, which has a number on it. Each of your pieces for the session will have this same number written onto the bottom. Once you've collected all your pieces that have been bisque fired, you can then take them to the glaze room for glazing. So here we are in the glaze room. First thing to do is set yourself up. So I'm going to make myself a little area with newspaper on the boards. That way it'll make the cleanup easy. I've selected my glaze, which for today is amber. And I'm going to give that glaze a really good stir just to make sure we get good results. Okay, I've got all my tools and my pieces that I'm going to be glazing in amber ready at hand. This is my glaze tongs. Go for a dip. And that piece is glazed. Okay, so I'm going to set that down on the newspaper. And I'm free to make a bit of a mess because it's going to be easy to clean up. Once I've done that, I'm just going to replace the lid here. And any little splashes and drips that you've got, just try to clean those up right away just so that we avoid glaze contamination. After that, I'm ready to do any of the finishing touches and details. Once you've glazed your piece, it's very important to clear all the glaze off the bottom. In that way, the pieces won't stick to the kiln when we fire it. So I'm just going to wipe that off with my sponge here. You want to make sure to do a good job because this could be the difference between a great pot and a lost pot. Okay, once that's done, I can set that down and wait till I take it to the kiln room. I'm going to rinse my tools. Any newspaper that I've used, make sure it doesn't go back into the newspaper bin as this could get on other pieces. Take all the tools that I've used in the glazing process and rinse them off in the rinse bucket. This will help us avoid getting chemicals down the sink and into the plumbing. Okay, once they're rinsed off in the rinse bucket, I'll take them here for their final rinsing. And restore all the tools. What are you gonna make? What are you gonna? This is the end of the hang on a second. Well, thanks. This is the end of the orientation. We hope you have a really good time in class, and we'll see you soon. Happy potting.